Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us up until this far. The conversation with Kagondu and Gideon has been so insightful. I have learned something. Personally, I have learned a lot. And with me, I have Kenyatta University peer counselors here with us to talk about campus parenthood. Like I asked earlier, I'd like to share with you my story. This story is not even out there. Oh gosh. Am I really ready to share this? Okay, let me just tell you my story. I got pregnant immediately after I cleared my coursework, just before nianze kufanya projects. And if I think about it now, I don't think I personally had support from my family and everyone that was around me. So they pushed me into clearing my projects all the way up to graduating. And if I think about it right now, I don't think if I was by myself, I would have graduated. Yes, I graduated. I went to the University of Nairobi. And I don't think if I had the kind of support that I got from my people, I would have made it through all the way into my studies and graduating na kumaliza masomo, you know. And brings me into the conversation of the day, which is, you know, campus parenthood. How do you manage to strike a balance between being a parent, being a student, and being an employee, because you have to make money to raise that child that you actually have? With me, I have Rashid and Nancy. I will allow themselves to introduce themselves. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm fine. Yes.
Nancy, introduce yourself. Who is Nancy?
Okay. By name, I'm Olang Nancy. Yes. Nancy is a humble lady. Brought up in a family of a single parent. Yes. I came to Kenyatta University, of course, for studies. Yes. I pursue Bachelor of Education Arts, Maths Business. I'm a teacher. Yes. And currently I'm on my teaching practicum, about to leave the university. I'm a fourth year student. Yes, and I'm a parent.
You're
a
a
mother
parent.
of a handsome young boy,
Nice.
1 year old. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rashid?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you once more. So, my name is Rashid Sam, and I'm glad to be here today. So,
Who is Rashid?
Rashid is a first year counselor, Kenyatta University, doing a Bachelor of Science in Engineering in the Faculty of Agricultural and Biosystems. And
Just keep going. It's okay.
and sorry. Where was I?
You're
All right.
in the
Fine.
Faculty of
Agriculture. That is Agricultural and Biosystems.
Yes,
That
yes.
is my course. I am in the third year right now. And I am glad to have this conversation because I am a father of a daughter,
Oh, nice.
1 year old.
Nice. Oh,
Yes.
you both parents 1 year old. As you are telling us, you got your daughter at what age? At what point in your campus?
Immediately I joined the first year. I was at 2.1. I had finished first year, and so I was in 2.1.
How was it for you?
Yeah, at first it was a moment of like believing it's real and not believing it's real. But eventually I had to accept it's real. And so I had to know that's me now. And so it was nice.
How was it for you to strike that balance between your studies and now being a father, and the fact that now you had to go an extra step to earn a living to be able to sustain now? Now you're not just taking care of yourself, you're taking care of yourself and someone else. How was it for you?
All right, first I had to accept that this has happened and it will not change. So it was up to me now to see how I will carry on with my first agenda, because I had already joined the university.
So graduating is a must.
Graduating is a must. And then on the other side now, because I accepted, caring was also a must. So I had to structure myself in such a way that I will in a position to handle both sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nancy, you're a mother.
Yes.
At what point in the middle of your studies did you become a parent?
In my 2.2. Yes.
How was it for you?
It was tough, I must say. Yes.
How was the process of the balance, striking the balance, like I've asked Rashid, the balance between now you have to study? I don't know, I feel like a mother has more responsibility more than a father. So there's so much being taken out of you and pouring it into the child, and expectations from everyone else, because at the end of the day you have to graduate.
Yes.
How was it for you to strike that balance?
Okay, first, when I realized I'm pregnant, it was a bit tough. But as my colleague has said, you must take up the mantle and ensure that the course, you finish your course first. Yes, and graduate. Yes, and so my balancing was a bit easier because we had the break for online classes. So it was a bit easier.
It was during
on
the
me.
COVID period.
Yes, it's a bit easier on me. I can remember myself being in an hospital bed and attending an online class.
What?
Yes.
Wow. Rashid, you're a peer counselor here at KU.
Yes.
But wait, you attended a hospital, your classes during the time you were delivering?
Yes, immediately after my delivery, I had put to bed on a night. Yes, at 10:10, and the next day I was having a class. 9, my morning class.
And you managed to attend?
I attended the class because my parent was on my neck. She's beside me and she keeps on asking me, did you attend the today's class?
You had?
Yes, you must attend it.
How was your state mentally?
Pardon?
How was your state mentally? How are you being able to strike a balance mentally? Like, how are you not becoming mad? That is the question. Because I remember myself how motherhood was for me the first few days. But so I must, how was your mental state at the time?
Not good at all. I was doing this just by being forced. Yes, because parents are always on our neck when such a situation comes by. They want you to attend to your classes normally and take up the course vile yeye mwenye alikupeleka shule. Yes.
Graduating.
Yes, they want that first. So my mental state was not good at all. I was attending these classes just for formality because my parent is there. She wants to see me in class, but...
And you're not okay?
I was not okay.
I'm curious how you are able to bounce back.
Yeah, it's a process. Healing is a process. Yes, and it took me time. Took me some period of almost 6 months. Up to date, I'm still not okay at some point, but I'm a bit somewhere. Better. I'm a bit better.
Yes. Rashid, I'll ask the same question. How was your mental state at the time?
Okay, for me, at first, it was a bit tough to accept because I was just joined the university the other day, and so my course is 5 years. And now I was thinking, for 5 years, how will I be able to balance parenting and also in my education? So it took me some time. Think at a time I was frustrated, but then I came to accept. Now acceptance now gave me a momentum to realize that if I will not be strong, then everything will flow out. And being strong, I had to strategize myself that now I cannot struggle with thinking how it will be. I am a
To flow.
Christian, you
Live a
know,
day at a time.
and the Bible says, why worry about tomorrow?
Yes.
Live
Even
tomorrow.
as we pray, we say, give us this day
Yes.
our daily bread.
Yeah. And so I had now to say, all right, fine. Stress will not consume me alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to now say, this is me and it will not change.
Yes.
It's me. So
You're with this little person forever.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think by accepting that made me strong, and stress went off.
Wow. How far along are you now? How many years now?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
How is it this far? How has the journey been up until now?
Yeah, right. I can say for sure right now I am so happy because I have got the way. I have seen the way that I can go. You see, the first 6 months were so tough, but then
You've managed to obtain the sense of balance.
yeah, I've gone through all, and at least now you can even predict, all right, if this comes on the way, I know how I can handle it. So for now, I am just relaxed because things are good.
Things are good.
Yeah.
Nancy, you're a peer counselor here.
Yes.
Did you ever get someone you could talk to at the time?
Okay, first of all, I got pregnant on the way. Immediately after our peer counseling, being taken through the peer counseling coursework, and I didn't confide in one of my colleagues. Yes, I had this fear, being a lady or a girl who has just been brought up. I think there is this perception that if someone gets pregnant on the middle of their studies,
they are going to drop out.
They're going to drop out, or they've been engaging in a.
You've been sinning.
Yes, you've been sinning. That is the word. That is the word. Yes. So being brought up well by my parent, now I get myself pregnant. I don't have someone to speak to. Not even my mom. Not even a brother, because I don't have a sister. In my family, I'm the only girl. In the midst of four boys. Yes. So you see the difficulty I had in confiding. I didn't have someone to confide in. Yes. So I had to take up to 6 months of my pregnancy. That's when I confided in my mom. Yes. But from there, everything was just okay. Yes, so my peer counselors got to know this some days later, months later.
That you were actually a mother.
Yes.
Wow. Rashid, as a peer counselor, how do you now, considering you even have first-hand experience, as a peer counselor here at KU, how do you deal with such situations? How do you deal with the individuals that come to you for help, for advice? They're looking for someone to confide in because they don't know what to do. There's a man who comes to you pregnant na hajui anafaa kudilaje na situation, nitoroke, ni accept responsibility. What should I do? How do you deal with such situations?
All right, for me, I think the overall of it all first is acceptance.
Yes.
You have to accept that this one has happened, and then we don't look at the at-hand situations. We look for what comes after. What is your future, and what are your dream? And so it is better we protect our dreams more, even if in the middle there are some things that surround us, good reasons to abort the dream. But then if we can have the guts to protect it. So the first thing here is that if we accept that this has happened, it's not the end of our dream. And it is not a factor that will make things flow up. But me, I think it is something that will give you a fighting spirit. And so it is all round that we accept, and then we move on with the dream that this one will have has to make me strong than people think. You see, for us as a young parents, once you are being seen pregnant or you have a child, you are considered like a failure.
Yes, it's very true.
But then let us change that mentality.
Yes.
In fact, it has to make us so strong because we have a fighting a spirit.
A fighting spirit. Yes.
Yeah.
Nancy.
Yes.
How do you deal with your financial situation? Being a campus student, how do you strike that balance between hustling, chasing the bag for you and your little one? How do you deal with your financial situation and also that balance between hustling and continuing with your studies?
Yes. On this one, it's a bit tough on almost every young parent. Yes, now that you're in the midst of your education, and the one who is sponsoring your education is maybe your parent, guardian, yes, a brother, something of the sort. But now you have another dependent. Yes. You'll have to think widely. Have to think widely, because you're not the only one person you're not thinking of yourself only. You have to think about your dependent on your kid. Yes. So my financial status.
How do you strike that balance?
How I strike my balance in the financial in financial terms. I take my this question because it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. Balancing is quite tough. Yes. I more of depend on my parent, I must say.
Okay.
Yes, I more of depend on my parent. But then there is that sense of independence that strikes my mind, or my anytime I'm thinking of my kid. Yes, so I'll have to think of some business. I'm thinking of a business. I'm yet to start it up. Not yet, but I'm yet to start it up. Yes, now that I'm in my 4.2. You're
somewhere, you headed somewhere.
Yes.
Rashid, how do you strike that balance?
Right. For me,
or rather, how do you advise, how as a peer counselor, how do you advise the individuals that come to you for advice, I've repeated myself, to handle their finances, or rather to go about, go about the education, looking for finances? How do you go about it?
Right. First, me, I have learned this art of saving. Because there's a time you will get much.
Yes.
There's time you will get very minimal, like you will not even sustain. And so, on my side, I learned the art of saving so early, because that time was during Corona. And so we had stayed too long at home. And the message came prior before I resumed. So I had to prepare myself. And being at home, you see, you can struggle. You can hustle here and there. And so the art of saving saved me a lot. Because at a time, that much you get, place it somewhere.
Yes.
It will help you for future. And now, knowing the situation that you are a parent, and there are some responsibilities that you have to do on the expenses that you are using. How you used to spend on yourself
is not how you spend anymore.
Definitely. So some expenses will reduce on you.
You have priorities.
Kabisa. And so that is when comes now you will know what is your priority in terms of spending, and so that some expenses will be more considered than others, and that is when now you will be able to balance between your family and the status that you are at the student level. Yeah. And that is how we can best balance our expenses. Save kidogo, the excess you get, and then look at your priorities.
Yes.
How are the things that you spend? Are they giving you something?
Are they worthy of being spent on?
That's the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nancy,
Yes.
Being a mother and now you're still a student, how are you putting in that balance of being present for your child and being present for yourself in your education? And how would you, what kind of, as a peer counselor, what kind of advice do you give the people who come in for help in regards to, I don't know what to do, I want to continue with my studies, I am pregnant, I feel like a failure. How do you advise such individuals in regards to striking that balance between their studies and being present in the moment of parenthood?
Okay, I feel that your question has two parts, and I'll begin by, when I found out that I'm now becoming a mother, of course, the first sense was that I'm a failure. Yes, and I'm not even, I don't have somewhere I'm moving to. I'm headed nowhere. But when I came to accept first, acceptance, and became I stepped up for myself. Yes. So I started something because the struggles I went through, my mental state, everything, the struggles I just saw myself going through, I started up something to gather the young mothers in this Kenyatta University. I have a group of about 30, created a WhatsApp group for them. I'm liaising with Dr. Angela from Ghana Clinic. Yes, we come up for these ladies. Any mother who is expectant, already a mother, anyone who has the title. Yes, so we come up with the activities just to gear ourselves up, talk about our issues within motherhood, being that we are young and still in school.
Yes.
And by the help of Dr. Angela from Ghana Clinic, I think we are a bit somewhere. And some are even free. They are free to come anytime and to open up and talk their issues. And people have issues and difficulties out here as young parents. Yes.
As we are winding up, Mr. Rashid, what is the advice you would give to that young man who has just received the information or who is already in the journey and is still in that phase of confusion? What advice would you give that individual?
All right, first, that is a journey. And in a journey, let's say you are in a highway. There are things you have to expect.
Yes.
There are times you will have to climb mountains. There are times you'll have to go down. And so this is even in the same scenario like life. But then the most stronghold here is knowing what you want, and in what you want to become. Building yourself in that scenario where some responsibilities have been added in you. Primarily you are a student, and also you are a parent. But then that one cannot be something that will kill your faith, will kill your fighting spirit. What I can say is, it is just a stepping stone for you to be so strong. Now, how you become strong is how you play your cards well. If you will fight to become a better man, then your techniques will change. You will now have something to fight for. You will not have a room to complain. You see, complaining too much sometimes makes us so weak. But then if we will have self-dependence and fight like, now this is my life. This is my generation. And I have to fight for it. Challenges will come. But because you have stood at a position that even some strong waves cannot move you, then you will stand. You will overcome. And so, if you are in this scenario, don't think like that's the end of your dream. Don't think like
the journey continues.
Yeah.
You keep soldiering on.
Kabisa. In fact, me I say, you have been given a mantle that will make you
A better person.
a better person.
Yes.
Kabisa.
Nancy,
Yes.
final remarks to that young girl out there.
Yes, final remark is that we are here for girl child to support each other. When you get that entitlement or get the title of being a mother, do not fear. Step up for yourself, take up the mantle, and quickly move on, because it gives you a room for building yourself. Actually, you'll always think out of the box.
Yes.
You'll always think out of the box. You will go out of your way, go extra miles of hard work. Yes, and to any other lady in Kenyatta University watching this, know that Nancy Olang is here for you. If at all you get pregnant today, do not opt for abortion. Keep your baby safely, and look for me. We can talk always and gear ourselves up for a better future
Nice.
of our kids and us.
Nice. Rashid, where can we get you, just in case someone needs to come to you, to someone to talk to, just someone to talk to? Anaweza kupata wapi?
Alright, first physically, you can find me in Kenyatta University. And for more confidentiality, we have a workshop at Kenyatta University, BSSC, room 272. You can meet us there physically. And if you are far away from our physicality, meet us in the social medias. I am at FB, Sami Charo, Twitter, Rashid Sami, and LinkedIn, I am go by the name Rashid Sami. Yeah.
Thank you
can
so much,
find me
Nancy.
there.
A quick one, you have 2 seconds.
Thank you. I'm Nancy Olang in all the social media platforms. Yes, and room 272 BSSC is our room, peer counselor's room. Yes.
Anything else?
No.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing with us your stories and the word of advice. I am coming back with the one and only Nelia from Uganda. She has some amazing news for us if you have not seen it yet. Stay tuned. We will be coming back with her on a Zoom call. This is KUTV. See you after a short break.